Hey guys, welcome back to the Stacking with Stack podcast, right? Today I got a special guest for you guys. My sis Angelica is coming in, right? The Glow Chat. She's going to be going crazy today and laying the law down. I invited her up here today. It's going to be a crazy ass episode and I need you guys to stay tuned, right? Because guess what? Angelica Williams is on her way. Let's go.
Now you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G-thing, baby. Too low death niggas so we're crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fake this. But back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let them understand. From a young chick's perspective. And before me digging a bitch, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man. And at the same time, burning her man. Now you know I ain't with that shit, Lieutenant. Ain't
going all the way in today, I'm telling you, Angelica Williams is on the way. Chat, right? We're gonna have a fire-ass conversation today because I love real conversations, right? And if you love real conversations, then I see why you've been a part of the Stacking with Stack podcast, right? And I got a special guest for you guys today, right? Angelica Williams has just arrived, right? And it's going to be a fire-ass episode because she's always been consistent, supporting me on my journey. And now she gets to come to the podcast and talk about what she's got going on, right? So make sure you guys are tapping in with my sis. And Angelica, are you here? Can you please introduce yourself to the crowd and let them know what you do and what you got going on? Thank you for coming up, sis. It's on you. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. This is your girl, Angelica Williams. I am stationed here in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Gainesville, Florida. I'm a country girl living a city girl life. Not that type of city girl, though. I am a multi-hyphenate entrepreneur. I'm also a mother of three. I'm an evangelist, mentor, coach, motivational speaker. I do a lot of things. I am your growth business coach, and growth means the process of growing while growing. I'm also your branding bestie, helping you get your brand together and getting your brand right so you can be consistent to your audience and continue to create that loyalty and trust in your brand.
Ooh, look, I told y'all I had a special guest for y'all, right? My sis coming in hot already. And this is what it's about. I love doing these entrepreneur talks, these entrepreneur interviews. So, Angelica, can you please tell me, like, what made you want to get into the branding and starting the image and, you know, actually starting the image for yourself? Because I know personally that you're into fashion. So talk to me, sis, about what made you want to get into that. Let's talk about it.
So I've always been a person that loved clothes. My grandmother, who raised me a good bit of my life, because my mom was, doing her own thing. My grandmother was a sewer, so she would literally sew a dress every day when she would go to work. She would always like bright colors, sequins, all these things. So I was introduced to these things at a young age, just seeing how she would put things together. And then at school, high school, putting things together. And I didn't really take a true interest into it because I was a tomboy. Like I dressed like a tomboy at times. And then I started getting girly in my high school year. But as I became an entrepreneur at 19 years old, I figured out the importance of looking like who you are, because we are our first billboard. We make the first impression by how we dress. You can't come into an arena and say, I do such and such, and you got on pajamas or you looking like kind of toe up. And so I took very much pride in how I looked and how I presented myself to people, because I was the first thing that they saw before I even opened my mouth. And then it became even more deeper for me in about 2016 when I launched my next business, which was Style to Go. And Style to Go is an image consulting company. We help entrepreneurs look like the gift that they are. So, you have a pretty gift on the inside. We give you the nice bow on the outside with your image and making you look like who you are, and also making it match with your branding. But it became especially special for me because in 2016, 2017, I was going through a deep depression. And fashion was my go-to. It made me feel better. And I strive by, if you look good, you feel good. And so every day for about 2 months while I was getting out of this hole of depression, I would get up and get dressed, do my hair, do my makeup, take pictures, post an inspirational quote, and go back in the house and lay down. But it was something that became a therapy for me. So anytime you see me put together clothing, it's therapy for me, but it's also showing women and women entrepreneurs that you can put together nice clothing and nice things and be that billboard and be that pretty bow on the package of the gift inside of you. So That's where the fashion portion comes from me. It's personal, but it's also my gift to the world as well.
I love that, Angelica, and thank you for putting that gift in the universe. Because, as you may know, we both love fashion, and we both met in the music industry, and they go hand to hand. So, my next question for you, Angelica, is how has the transition has been for you going into like a new lane as an entrepreneur, right? Because I love to talk about it, and I love to see your growth and your growth. So, over to you, sis.
So I started in the music industry. I was doing management for artists at 19 years old because in my hometown in Gainesville, when I was in college, they had this thing called the Gainesville Music Summit. And I first started as a volunteer. I have a deep love for music. Like I love all music. And then it went from me doing music, from being a volunteer to coordinating the music summit, securing the budgets, then working with a couple independent labels, then that turning around and me working with a live music showcase out of California, where I not only hosted, but I interviewed the acts that would come in and also give them advice. And then I worked with some A&R, some major labels, like being an A&R liaison. When 2008 came, it was a pivotal, 2009 actually, it was a pivotal moment. It was like the recession was happening. Music wasn't doing that well as far as for us that was like working in that independent sector. And so being that I was a consultant, I was already consulting artists, like giving them ways to not try to go through the front door of the industry with just one gift, but like highlighting the other gifts and adding merch and do comedy skits and things like that. Like I was telling artists to do that back in 2009. And being that some of those ideas worked for them, they're like, oh, you should do consulting. You give great advice. So I looked into it and I was like, dang, I already do this. And so when I pivoted into, it was just AW management at the time, then it became AW management and consulting. And I started helping people with starting their business and, fulfilling their brands and doing all that they need to do, social media marketing. We were like a full scale marketing company at one point when I first started and pivoted to that. I had about 75 people that was under the brand AW Manager Consulting, that I was consulting month by month and things like that. And so as I started pivoting in more into the coaching and mentorship space, I Win Consulting Group was born in 2017. And I Win is just the takeover of AW Management and Consulting.
Ooh, that's crazy, sis. Congrats on that.
Yeah, so we do the same things, but now we're a little bit more strategic. We do market research, we do brand strategy, marketing strategy. We really dig with the foundation. Like I think social media gives so much of the glitz and glam and do this and try to get into your algorithm. But even if you're in the algorithm, who are you talking to? And so we help a lot of people with the branding portion get their target audience down, color spots, getting that psychology, and then taking that package and putting that package in a vehicle for it to be marketed. So figuring out which platform is good for them, how to do the email marketing, should they do Google ads, and also getting into the distinction, because people think branding and marketing is the same thing, and they go hand in hand, but they're not the same. Branding is the look, and marketing is the vehicle. So marketing takes the look and pushes it out to the world. And so we deal with independent brands, like authors. I do have a few artists on the roster, but authors, small businesses, fashion brands. So we are pretty diverse in the sector of people and industry that we work in, but we all help them the same and help them niche down in their business.
Come on, sis. That's what I'm talking about. It's about helping out a lot of people. And Angelica's with me every day, helping out a lot of people in the XP mentorship. So I really want you guys to understand that it's real heavy. And, she came in talking about her brand, what she's doing, right? And Angelica knows about the struggles too. So it's about, losing it all, coming back, coming harder, being a champion, right? I got another question for you, Angelica. What do you tell someone? What's some advice you can tell someone that wants to do what you doing right now? What is some advice that you have someone that's looking up to Angelica and that's like, you know what? I want to do what she did. She's inspiring. That's my last question for you, sis. Let's go.
I would say follow your heart. Shut out the negativity. Turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the negativity. I'm always a person now that I'm in this position, like it's like when you know better, you do better. And now that I know better, I know to follow my heart first. And the reason why I say that is because when I started out doing this, it was nobody in my family that looked like me that was doing what I was doing. It wasn't any entrepreneurs that were like my ancestors were entrepreneurs, but I didn't get to meet a lot of them. So it was me starting out on this journey and doubting myself a lot, because I think as entrepreneurs or even starting something new, we doubt ourselves anyway. But then when you got family and friends like getting into your head and making you feel like what you're saying is crazy, you sometimes will veer off course and do things trying to please other people. And so I would say always follow your first mind, follow your gut feeling, believe in yourself. Whatever is on your mind, if you go to sleep thinking about it, if you wake up thinking about it, if it tugs at your heart all throughout the day, that's something that you need to be doing, and you need to tap into that. You need to do the resource, get you a coach, get you a mentor, invest in yourself, the right courses or whatever you may need. Find somebody to give you the right direction, but above all, always believe in yourself. Yes, you're going to have a rough time. Yes, things are going to happen. Like you might even lose some people along the way, but that does not mean that you're not on the right path to your success. We always try to judge our success by other people, but you are on the right path for your success. So believe in yourself, stay focused on the goal, get some people around you that are like-minded and that can pour back into you on those days where you don't feel like doing it or when you want to give up. You got some people that you can call that are going to pour back into you and remind you of why you started in the first place. And if you can't reach out to them people right then, you write down why you want to start in the first place. Why do you want to be a consultant? Why do you want to be a fashion brand? I do taxes too. Why do you want to do taxes? Always write down your why, because when the going gets tough and the tough gets going, you'll be able to look back on that why and be reminded of why you started. So even if the sales don't come, if the views don't come right now, the likes don't come, people don't catch on to you, you still know your why and it keeps you going and you chug forward. So always believe in yourself, follow your first mind, remember your why, and keep pushing forward even in the tough times. I promise you, it is only building your character, it's building your endurance for this race, because entrepreneurship is not easy, but it is well worth the reward when you work hard.
Come on, sis. You coming in hot, sis. Now, can you please tap in and tell, my audience where to find you, where to get with you at, where's your social medias, where your channels at, and where they can, find everything that you got going on. So on you, sis. Lego.
Okay, well, you can follow me Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Angelica A.W. Williams. My website is angelicaawwilliams.com. We have a 8-week branding intensive that is getting ready to happen in October. So if you want to be a part of that and get your brand straight, visit my Instagram. And if you go to the link in the bio, you'll be able to go to the landing page so you can get in on that. But other than that, Angelica A.W. Williams across all platforms, and my website, angelicaawwilliams.com.
Ooh, I told y'all I had a special guest for y'all. I told y'all Angelica was going to come in hot and do a fire-ass interview, and we're going to have her up here again talking about, some more things and whatever she wants to talk about, too. I'm definitely going to invite her up here because she has good expertise. She's a mentor with me, an XP mentor, and we're going to continue to elevate, motivate, and pour into others from a huge standpoint. So I appreciate you, Angelica. Make sure you guys are following her on all platforms. We had a fire-ass podcast, and she's coming up again, and we're going to be doing some more things. So I appreciate you guys. Stacking with Stack Podcast. I'm out of here. Let go.